It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and we're going to get right into the action once again. Belgrade, let me hear you. Map number 3 coming at you. We're going to have a knife round to decide who starts on what side. The crowd has been growing steadily throughout, and, well, Turkey just annihilate France in the knife round, so they're going to get the pick of the litter. Now, remember, this is going to be more of an even-style map. Now, when we look back on the way that the past 2 maps have played out, it's been 8-7 at the half on both of those maps.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. So it would be a real shame if this was like a one-sided affair one way or the other. So I'm hoping for another great match. I know that the audience is hoping for another great match. I know you are as well. And this, I mean, we casted a 3-map series yesterday when it came down to it between Sweden and Argentina. We're kicking off today with another extremely intense, very close matchup. And then we're going to go into the Argentinian-Denmark match after this is all said and done, which should be another fire series.
Only 2 best-of-3s have gone the 3rd map, and both back-to-back. Testament as to how close this competition has become. Nonik looking with the Deeg to take the fight in towards B. It's going to be Calyx onto the back of the site, but the T side expending a smoke grenade, that's going to be blocking off the lines of sight. So France, if they'd like to, can close this distance. Despe in an incredibly aggressive positioning here, but Calyx through the smoke is able to take down 1. So it's Turkey with an early 5-4.
Yeah, Mewstwo's taking a boatload of damage as well. He's down to 19 HP. They're going to push up aggressively. Kio's looking for a little bit of a intel play up on Catwalk, and I believe Paz actually spotted him. They're going to go for the long-range duel. The USP definitely more powerful in that avenue. And now Xantares, we've seen his one-taps with that P2000 in the past. He's going to be looking for it here in mid. Not able to connect just yet. Okay. Finds one onto Fuchs, takes him off the map, and we're going to have a man advantage swung back into the favor of Turkey to start this one off. And Mewstwo, remember, down to 19 HP. Very difficult situation for them to be in. The bomb hasn't made any leeway towards either of these sites. And now Xantares is still over here by mid. XMS is going to encroach on that position, but rightfully so. He falls back. He's got a teammate in Calyx over there by tunnels. Gets an information play as well. So they know a lot about where the Frenchmen are coming from, but Kio nails the shot. It's going to be down to Xantares. Can he hit these frags? Yes.
Yes, he can. There's the 1, there's the 2, and he's looking for the 3rd.
Yes, he can, baby! Xantares! The big 4K on the round. What a beast.
I mean, just, wow.
That's just dirty. I'm sure we'll have a replay of that one because that's just filthy stuff. So Turkey start off with the pistol round victory this time around. Every single map has had a split victory for the pistol rounds.
That's very true.
We've also seen anti-eco rounds go awry.
Oh, look at this.
This is just dirty.
I mean, if the 3rd one had been a one-tap, that would have been just a clip for the ages, but nonetheless, don't take it away from him. Great pistol play here from Xantares. Now, Fuchs going to be on the scout, so the rest of the Frenchmen are just on those upgraded pistols, and he's the first casualty of the round with nobody there to trade frag back or even grab that weapon. It's going to be France to maybe look to take the pace. They can definitely set up here for that mid to be. Of course, the cap is just going to play to the favor. Xantares is going to be dealing damage as he does spot the first, and of course, at this point, France just kind of stuck up here in the top of middle.
Pig. Oh, he sprayed over top of it. That's just BM, no Nick. France going to be pushing up towards that A bomb site. Flashbang goes out. That's going to be right in the nick of time. Or in the no nick of time. That's going to hold them back for just a little while longer. But, I mean, remember, even though Fuchs went down, he did tremendous damage, but Xantares just creeping up on that box is going to be able to find no nick, and that's the bomb. And they're going to have to fall back from this one. This is a very dangerous situation now for France. They've got to push forward. They've got 50 seconds left in the round, but they have to recover the bomb, and they still have yet to do so. They finally get it on the back of XMS, but now look at this rotation. I mean, they've got one from CT. That's going to be this UMP going to town, and there it is. Xantares and Despe clean it up. It's going to be 2 frags for Despe, 2 for Xantares, and that lone frag for Major. And a nice clean round for Turkey.
Yeah, I mean, clean in the sense that all 5 players survived, but 3 of those players were significantly tagged and 1 even damaged a little. So it just goes to show, of course, France were at least taking those gun duels and they were hitting shots, but it's just that weapon advantage that helps Turkey out. So as expected and as should be, they do convert the point. Coming into this one, it's going to be triple UMP, but plenty of nades here for the side of Turkey. Glock train for France heading towards that B site. It's going to be met by resistance in the form of a frag grenade. Damage not really dealt here as Kio's only dealt 13. Calyx going to be following up with a smoke, but now they spot the flares. They're going to try to push on through, and they line them up. They knock them down. It's anti-eco frags, but still, again, nothing given to France.
Money, money, money.
Yep.
Despe getting 3 UMP frags. Calyx on 1, so that's $1,800 plus $300 from the pistol kill for Despe. So that's a lot of money, $2,100. You can see, even with this alt buy down, he's still on $4,300 moving forward in this round. So that's just a tremendous money farm from the Turkish side. And again, we've seen this in the past when you looked at the money in the economy at the beginning of the overpass matchup. You know, they got up to like $14,000 real early on, and that is just an uncharacteristic miss from Mewstwo, and that's Despe capitalizing on that.
I mean,
Keo's going to go get the op now.
One of the significant points before we start this up is that, of course, Despe should have the favor in the op duels, and he does exactly that. He crouches under the fire of Mistu, but XMS, he doesn't need an op to drop him down. Just rips his head clean from his shoulders off the back of the AK. So 4 versus 4. Not a decent, not too bad of a spot here for France. I mean, considering, of course, they were at that man disadvantage, they've now clawed it back ever so slightly. The Fuchs going in towards long doors. It's untradeable, or at least for the first moment, but Major, he's going to be able to cross as Keo rings off a shot. He capitalizes on the timing, and he's still over here, so very ambitious. Finally, after deploying the smoke grenade, he'll reel backwards. So not only props to France for taking back that advantage, but then props to Turkey for doing it again.
Yeah, and Major actually, he had the UMP, he got the frag from that, and when he went over into the cubby, because Keo was rattling off those op shots, he didn't think to pick up the AWP or the AK at the time, so he had to go back in, and that was really risky because he almost got spammed through the wall. But he does manage to get himself out of dodge. He does manage to get that AK-47 in hand, and a man advantage once again here for Turkey. So the trade's going favorably in their favor. Favorably in their favor. True that.
True that.
True that. So again, I mean, Xantera's playing over towards mid. You've got Calyx over towards B. And it's just a very formidable hold here. I mean, they're allowing one player to sit down and pit. They're allowing the other player to be up on path and watch for that push to come around towards that A site. And really nicely played, and that pop flash is on point. Even though NoNick wasn't really blind from that, Xanteras is going to be able to mask his footsteps from the ringing in his ears. And nicely done. Keo does get the return. Calyx goes down.
Keo with another one, grabs the headshot. Xantera is denied, so it is going to be the 2 versus 2 retake attempt here. Turkey do have players coming in towards the back of tunnels. That's going to be Major as they attempt to hit this as a 2-pronged assault. Paz still sitting outside the doors. They've got a smoke and a flash to play with, so they should be able to at least try to force France to look away and give up these holds. But talking of flashbangs, Keo's still possessing 2. He's exposed, however, to the long play, and that's it. A headshot for Keo, brought back by Paz, and Keo with a second. That's a 4K in the round. Yet again, it's Kiyoshimo who puts the team on his back and finds himself the round.
Yeah, but look at how close that round was, and look at how expensive it was for the French side.
Absolutely.
I mean, they lose 4 players. They almost lose the round as well with 8 HP left on Kiyoshima. And the money, like I said in the beginning of the last round, is still okay for the Turkish side. So they're going to have a big investment here. And if France drop this round, it's going to be a difficult reset for them. I mean, look at this buy. I mean, this is the kitchen sink buy. They've got a Galil on the board. They've got a Tech 9 on the board. They forsake the AK on the Mistu because they want to get the extra utility to work with. And, I mean, it's just a really sticky situation for France to be in. But if Keo can start hitting shots like that round in and round out, they're going to be in a pretty solid situation to move forward. A big 4K from him in the last round, and that's France, their first one on the board. And now going into the 5th round, it is a firepower advantage towards the Turkish side. We'll see if France can get the run and gun with that Tech 9. They're going to lead with it, see what they can do.
Xantera's going to be putting down a smoke grenade. This is going to be nice because it will keep France at bay for a little bit longer. Of course, there's still plenty of time to play with as we are over a minute, but Kiyoshima creating space, checks out close doors. He knows, of course, if there's anybody nearby now, it's going to be inside of CT or back towards that B site, but giving a bit of space, they don't have to worry about pushing up towards Catwalk, so they're only going to put Mistu there as they attempt to take the long control where there very well should be defenders, and there is. It's going to be Major sitting in the pit. He's got that M4 and 2 players nearby over towards the site, but Xantera's now going down towards CT, and Paz being so far on the site that Major could potentially go down here untraded.
Yeah, that's really the rub, isn't it?
Yep.
Even if it's a 1-for-1 trade, I mean, that's going to put a little bit of a difficult spot. And he actually jumps up to get some information and gets spotted, gets tagged, and now he's going to get pushed back. That flashbang blinding both sides, but there you go. Fuchs is going to be able to capitalize. There's the trade attempt from Xanteras, but it goes unnoticed. Fuchs is going to be able to double up. He finds both of those picks, and now Mistu up on Catwalk, and they can play this pinch play on Paz. They haven't thrown down a smoke in towards CT spawn. In fact, the only one that does have a smoke is NoNick. They're just going to try to cross this, and it goes well. AWP for Despe. Oh! Hits the double! But there's NoNick on the late lurk through middle. That was scary for a second.
Incredibly. But, I mean, France do walk away with it. Nice little attempt there from Major to at least buy some time. I mean, I just elicited how that rotation from Xanteras was going to prevent the refrag trade, but because he jump peeks it and then flashbangs, Xanteras does get there. Unfortunately, it comes down to a matter of execution, but look at that.
Oh, yeah.
They line up, he knocks him down. A headshot as well into Keo through the back. So great stuff. Fuchs does survive, as does NoNick. France with 2 now onto the board, and a real chance at equalizing this to the 3 versus 3, as it is only pistols on the side of Turkey. They've got those triple deagles, a double P250, and armor on Calyx, but no nades and not even a defuse kit. So really their backs are against the wall here.
You can already tell in the first opening 5 rounds of this one how close this match has been and how close it's probably going to be through this map. I mean, just neither one of these teams is giving an inch. Good peek there from Keo, going to come around the corner. Does spot out Xanteras. Doesn't realize that there's another player that's close. That's Paz that's just hunkered down here. Close corner of Catwalk. Keo does spot out the player in middle. It is a bit of a stack towards the A bomb site for the CT side. Xantares going to hit a ripper, does manage to take down NoNick, and now they're going to push up behind this, but it's Calyx, Xantares again, and an 8 comes out. Kiyoshima's going to be able to find a frag, and it's starting to get rectified now, but it's down to a 2 versus 2, and only 5 HP for Mistu. They're going for the cat plant. This is a mistake. Coming up very quickly is going to be Despe. He's going to be able to try to pop a couple of shots here, and it's going to have to be Keo to do most of the work into this round. Can they finish these off? Both players very, very low, even lower now as that pistol continues to rattle off, and finally Keo's going to be able to shut it down. Really close round, and again, I mean, that's a testament to the series right there, that round alone.
Every single victory thus far has been pretty damn close.
You can beat us in a round, but we're going to make you work for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there was that situation, as you just said, if they had actually been planting for Cat, that would have been atrocious, because that P250 would have taken down Keo, who at that point was already tagged, and then if Quail, that would have dropped the bomb. So it's lucky that Kiyoshima does go for the plant on the other side of the boxes, but I'm assuming the man up Cat does call that, of course, the flank is not necessarily clear. So France, by only a very thin margin, able to find another round, but it's tied 3-all here as there is an op on each side, and Kiyoshima opening the gate once more. That was an aggressive push from Paz in mid. Now XMS going to get some aggression of his own. He takes one frag, but Xantares is able to trade. He's alone now over towards that B site, and we're going to be seeing a rotation from Turkey. They're going to be going in towards a 1-1-1, and Xantares adds another. So it's a 3 versus 3, and the universe is equal once more.
And it's really beneficial that he's able to find that second frag on XMS over there in that B bomb site, but we'll see how it pans out now. Smoke comes down towards double doors. A little bit of cat presence is going to be taken here from the terrorist side of France, and there's only, like you said, one player, that's Despe in the A bomb site with that AWP. Now, we know that he can wreak some havoc, but he's got so many angles that he has to watch, and they're starting to come out towards long A. They've got Keo coming up on catwalk. Just a really tough spot for him to be in, and he actually misses the initial shot. Flashbang goes out, but there's Keo on catwalk. Beautiful pinch there from the French side. They actually spot Major. He gets up into the smoke. They know that he's here. They're taking so long to get him down. But finally, it's going to be Keo. That's a 3K on the round from Kiyoshima. And it's Xantares with only 16 HP to try to make this one happen, and he's just going to fall back from it, rightfully so. And France going to take the lead here. 4 rounds in a row from him.
I mean, Kiyoshima, and again, with a big individual performance, a 3K into this one. So, I mean, we brought it up how he is that world star player, right? And so, again, showing it, keeping France in the competition, and he has the team behind him to do it, right? So all these guys have stepped up at one point or another during the tournament, especially during yesterday's best of 3, right? We saw Fuchs, we saw NoNick, and now today it's kind of been everybody, but an emphasis on Keo because he is 12-4 at the moment. That's a fantastic start, and if you actually look at the frags right now, look at Turkey's kills as opposed to France's.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 2 players that are kind of lighting them up, Despe and Xantares, both up there with a combined total of 21 frags, and you've got Keo at 12. And you know, you talk about players individually stepping up. This lurk was great from Kiyoshima. They flush out that AWPer, and he's able to get that pick, and then eventually finishing off Major with the Desert Eagle. But you talk about NoNick stepping up. You talk about Fuchs stepping up. These are the guys who went big in the match against Canada. You look at this matchup, and you have, on the last map, that they're able to win 16-14 on Nuke. It was XMS that steps up. He was relatively quiet in that opening matchup, but you know, everybody's starting to pull their weight. Everybody's starting to fire on all cylinders, and it's Kiyoshima that's the show right now. Smokes go out, flashes as well, and hey, speak of the devil, Kiyoshima able to find one. Finally traded by Xantares, so.
Ooh, and a second one. Xantares doing the same. He too is capable of putting his team on his back, so he's going to be attempting that one here in round number 8. But of course, remember that Despe and Calyx also don't have anything other than their pistols, so it's going to be a very tall task. Yeah, now, nonetheless, France, they've got this bomb plant. Yeah, exactly. They pick up those weapons, so aim punch still a factor, but they do also have a bit of utility, a frag and a Molotov. We'll see how they play that one out as they do start to work their way towards this B site. Xantares inside of the tunnels. Everybody else going to be heading out towards mid. Xantares with another one. Don't tell me this is how it happens. Fuchs is still in the back of platform. XMS chiming in, but Despe to find a frag as well. Now Fuchs finds one, and he's looking for the second, and he will find the kill. Despe drops, and Fuchs finds himself a clutch and a round for France. It's a 5-3 lead.
1 out of 10 from Xantares, though. I mean, he gets both of those picks on long A, allows his teammates to pick up weapons, and they go for that in the 3 versus 3. And Mistu just barely missing the timing. When he was actually coming around through tunnels, he spotted the end of the op barrel. So he decides to take a wider angle around the pillar that's in the upper B tunnels, and because of that, that forces Mistu to miss that shot. And he's able to find that frag. Unfortunately, wasn't expecting the back plat player. But this time around, it's going to be Paz to drop early on Mistu, his AWP. Like we said, we're going to have to see that duel between Despe and Mistu. And now this time around, it's going to be Calyx that picks up an op. So a double op setup here for the CT side. Xantares sticking to the M4. It's working for him, obviously, so far. Some decent spam getting thrown out there. Only takes him up for 2. At least that allows them to know that the presence is there. But there you go. Calyx finds the op frag, and we're back to a 4 versus 4.
Now, Despe in a very strong position here. That game helper spot, I mean, he can just re-peek and re-peek over and over again if he does take these kills. And it's one thing, of course, if he's alone here, but with Major over towards Long, he's going to have his flank completely covered. So we're going to be seeing him hit these shots. Down goes Nonik. He's the first. Despe, again, just looking to reposition. Slightly different. He grabs the second. Again, the positioning is just so strong. And Major now clears out the flank as well, so it's just up to Keo, and he too falls. Turkey with a very strong round off the back of Despe's off play.
Yeah, really, really nice round from Turkey there. And again, I mean, that's such a strong position. You see it, it gets smoked out, it gets mollied out, it gets flashed off a cat and everything like that. But this time around, France didn't actually have the utility to flush him out of that position. They didn't have a Molotov. Once he got that angle, they were so worried about a player being in Goose or a player being on a slope that they weren't able to clear out that car player. So he capitalizes, gets 2 kills. Finally, Keo dies at the end of that round. And I mean, 5 rounds in a row from France. Finally, Turkey answered back, and because of how close those rounds were, the economy isn't there for France anymore. They don't get the bomb plant in the last round, so no extra joy, and now they're just going to try to brute force their way in towards the B bomb site, and this is going to get really dangerous because there is a disconnect between these two players, and now you can see Xanteris coming in, sprays down 1, 2, looking for the third, he's going to get it! They do manage to take down Calyx, but that's going to be Xanteris trying to make this one happen. He's down to 4 HP. He's going to go ahead and push on in.
Ooh, denied.
Yeah,
Nonik
denied.
Plucks him from the air, but still passes here, so he's stuck behind that dumpster, and he's unable to cross. All he's got is the Deagle. He had the M4 on his back, but Major, he finds the kill. So very nice hold by Turkey. I mean, at that point, again, it's a very, very favored buy to Turkey's side.
Yeah.
But it does get a little bit precarious when Calyx starts to miss those first shots, or at least when France is baiting them out perfectly. But Xanteris with those headshots off of the doors. Great M4A4 play here. It's exactly what wins
That
them the round.
flash was brutal, too. I mean, 2 out of the 5 players that are pushing out through the tunnels are blinded, can't even locate where any of these frags are coming from, and Xanteris, nice spray down. I believe he actually got tagged down pretty hard through the door by that Deagle as well, so a nice bit of a return. But Despe, the boost on Cat, Keo down. We will see Turkey with the advantage into this one. Now, it is another pistol round from France, but they did invest into some armor and some Tech 9s, so they've got the mobility. They've got 2 smokes to work with, but they've got to be careful. They don't want to lose any of those smokes in mid. And Mistu is going to be down to 43 HP, but XMS does manage to find Xanteris, the hero of the last round.
Such dynamic play, that op boost to take the first pick. I mean, again, France, they've been able to equalize it, but Despe once more changing positions with a frag, and Paz going wide with the M4, grabs one more, but Mistu has at least made some space, and he's picked up an M4 here for his troubles. Despe's still on the site, though. He's going to miss a shot. This one's not going to help, but he re-peeks successfully and takes the frag, leaving XMS all alone down towards CT spawn. Now, of course, they are very fully aware that he could be exactly here. Calyx finds him, shoots him, kills him, done.
He made sure of that one as well.
Yeah,
Took his time on the shot, didn't want to miss that one, and potentially have him get 180 and taken down, because that is a vulnerable position that Calyx was in. But Turkey reclaimed their lead a couple of rounds in a row now, and they're going to be able to formulate another big buy. But finally, France is going to be back into the AK buy down, but still curious to see. Oh, they tried to pause it, but they didn't get the pause in time, so that's a little bit risky.
Nothing's happened, though,
okay.
So theoretically we should be fine.
Yeah, gonna have to restart there for a second, pause it, and match medic. I believe we had an issue with Fuchs. He didn't buy anything into the round, so
yeah,
potentially him gonna get dropped.
My
there,
French is on point. Fuchs absente means that he dropped.
Okay.
So we'll find out.
Is your French on point though?
I'm sure if it's
you
not,
are
I'll be
Canadian.
criticized. French, yeah, not French though.
True. That is true. So, what have we learned so far in this series?
We've learned that Despe and Xanteris are amazing players, that they have all sorts of firepower. And I mean, if we're not necessarily speaking of this series, but at least just this map in particular, if you look at it, Kiyoshima at the top on the side of France. Meanwhile, we've got Despe and Xanteris leading the charge on the side of Turkey. So it's essentially at this very moment, Despe and Xanteris versus Keo. Everybody else on the server is they're doing their part, they're trying their best by all means, but they're most certainly at a lower pedigree, at least for this very moment. They're capable of turning things up, but it's a matter of just, performing.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things too. I mean, if we look back on the previous couple of maps, when they went into Nuke, who was the one player that was missing from the Turkish side that they definitely could have used to be able to steal away this series in a 2-0 fashion? It was Xanteris.
Yep.
It was big plays from Calyx in that map. And again, I mean, we've seen Calyx throughout the tournament do some big things as well. As obviously alongside Despe and Xanteris. I mean, Despe has been a phenomenal AWPer throughout the series. Not a lot of teams that are here actually have that dedicated AWP player. You've got Denmark with Katie, and you've got Johnny Boy on Argentina. One of them, as far as I'm concerned, probably the most exciting person to watch.
Yep.
Just because I like watching the reactions after the rounds, but
He's so pumped the entire time.
Oh, he's so fired
every
up
round,
the entire
every
time.
frag. It's him and the manager on top of it, right?
Absolutely.
The two of them just combined is so energetic.
Absolutely. Shout out to the crowd there, boys. Give yourselves a wave, a pat on the back. How are you guys doing out there? It's been pretty quiet. I want to hear some noise, guys. Can we get a little hype going in the audience? Come on, guys. Belgrade, let me hear you. Come on. There you go. There you go. So we are going to be match medicing this, but let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to be seeing coming up. Because we've got a matchup between Denmark. We've got a matchup between Argentina.
Yep, this is absolutely true.
And if we learned anything last night from Argentina is they are playing every round like it's the last round of the tournament.
Yep. And that they're here to win.
They are definitely here to win.
What's incredibly nice about them as well is that it's not just their play style that's really impressive, especially Johnny. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are back into it. Turkey versus France. You got it.
All right. So back into the action we go. Turkey 6 rounds, France 5 rounds, and we are back live into this action. And it's going to be Keo to open things up. Paz is going to be able to trade back immediately, but it's XMS to drop one more as Paz hits the dirt. But it's Xantaris around at long A. He's going to get the double, hits the triple, and Keo's going to be there in the back lines to find one more. He's looking for the spray down, but it's Despe to stop it. 7-5 now, and back to the action we are. It was just a brief 30-second delay. No big deal. Yeah, just 30 seconds.
Of course, this is where we left things off, ladies and gentlemen, with Turkey in the lead, and also with 2 players on the top of the leaderboard, Despe and Xantares. Keep your eyes on them as Keo attempts to hold the line on the opposite side for the Frenchman, but as of yet, they've been coming up slightly short. They will still attempt to prevail, and that's exactly what we're looking for here.
Ooh, barely missed that op shot down through middle. Despe, we talked about him before, about how he needs to be very effective with that AWP. It's going to be the double op setup still here maintained by Turkey. One in the hands of Calix, who's been playing over towards the B bomb site, and then Despe, who's been playing that mid rotator up towards the A bomb site car area and top of A. Deagle round for the most part, with the exception of Misu, who's going to pick up the P250, maybe looking to save up a little bit of money, but it's Xantaris again, finds the opening pick. Fuchs hits the dirt, and is going to swing things into the favor of Turkey once again to begin this round.
Paz needs to be giving your eyes open. Keo right there, and again with that deep, we've seen him already today have big plays with it, but we've also seen this man, Despe, who finds one. Paz also going to be holding this push back. Again, of course, this is just the eco round for the side of France, but again, they toppled. One more left. It's Mistu again, and Turkey, I mean, they're just rotating players. Really, France trying to push the issue out from Catwalk, and it's just not going to pan out at that point, especially as that advantageous position just furthered itself time and time. Again, it's a 3-point lead.
Holy
2
crap.
rounds left in the last bit of this half.
Xantaris 23-7, Despe 20-6. Massive scoreline for both of those players. I mean, Kiyoshima on the other side at 15 kills. The rest of the server is just kind of existing.
Deflated.
Just existing for a little bit. We've seen this boost come out before. Despe spotting down into lower dark. He's not going to get tempted by anything just yet. Now, XMS is over there in the B tunnels, but it's going to be a quick push coming towards long. And there it is, Keo. We just talked about him. He's going to be able to find the opening pick. Major goes down. The smokes are there for the cross, so they can push in towards this bomb site. But Despe, he's still on catwalk. And oh my God, Xantaris with the double drops the bomb carrier as well. And well, Calix is going to be able to find one more. It's all down to Keo and Mistu to try to make this one happen. It's 2 rifles and 2 ops versus an op and a rifle. And Keo, he's not done just yet. He's going to be able to find one more. AK salvaged here from Mistu. The bomb plant going down. It's not planted for any particular position, and that's unfortunate. Mistu goes for the peak. He gets planted. Paz coming around from catwalk, takes down Keo, and that will be a 9th round on the CT half for Turkey.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Dust 2 being one of these maps where generally you'll see the T side run away with a bit few more rounds than at least 5. And France being shut out at this just goes to serve that Turkey have had themselves a great start thus far. Potentially looking at that 10-5 half, of course, France going to be looking to prevent that. But the thing here is, again, just the fact that Despe and Xantares, oh my God, just appreciate that. That's through the smoke. Yeah. I mean, obviously he sees the cross, so he has the indication, but then to line up those shots regardless is excellent stuff. So this 2-man show is just panning out to Turkey's favor, and they're going to be looking to finish it up. 10-5 is the scoreline they'll be shooting for already, though. We've got players from France heading out long. They're going to be up behind the blue box, and that's going to be Keo to find an opening frag. It's brought back by Major's double, but he too falls to Fuchs. 3 versus 3, and an op shot missed from Despe does give a bit of space for France to play with. They're going to boost the man back up onto the site. Again, the dynamic duo playing this long position superbly. But instead of France trying to push the envelope, they're going to go ahead and reel backwards to the top of mid.
And Calyx is going to get a shot for free on XMS. He was exposed down through middle. He's going to get picked off, and that's going to be another frag in favor of Turkey. They've swung the man advantage back into their favor. I mean, we saw that push come out through long A, and it was an even trade back and forth, but France has given up the well, they've given up the equalizer, and now Turkey is going to have a little bit more to work with. You can see Calyx rotating back over towards the B-bomb site. This is the right call. He's got the 5-7 out. Not going to get the off out in time. He's going to get forced back through the window. Now we're going to have a 2v3 retake on this B-bomb site. They haven't gotten the bomb plant just yet. They're actually going to throw it across to Mistu. That's the smart play. That way Fuchs doesn't have to give up any more of his health. He's down to 82, and the bomb is going to get planted here. So the push coming back around. No tunnels presence from the Turkish side as of yet. Flashbang going to go out over the top. They're going to push behind that and actually catches Xantares a little more than he probably hoped.
At this point, though, Mistu, he's going to grab that first headshot. Still 2 players standing, and Mistu, he's going to grab another, and he's going to grab a third. He sprays them down and takes France into the 6th round. What an excellent little bit of showmanship to at least solidify one more bit of victory for France. They close on a strong note, and they'll be looking to replicate that as they move on forward to the second half. But again, it's a testament to how close this series has been, as once more we find ourselves on the edge.
Yeah, back and forth to say the least, and it was actually a late string of rounds from the Turkish side that was able to net them that decent lead going forward. Nicely done from Mistu there. And that was a 2 versus 3. I mean, that was a disadvantageous situation for France to be in. And they still make it work. And Mistu taking a nice peek there at the end towards the double doors outside of the B-bomb site. And he does it well. So into the second half pistol we go. Turkey with a 3-round lead. They're going to be on the terrorist side now, so they're going to have that run and gun mentality, the quick peeks with those Glocks to see if they can do anything. But the range of those USPs is going to be possibly a detriment to them as they are just holding stall. We're waiting for any mistakes from the CT side of France that they can capitalize on.
And I mean, at this point as well, you have to realize Turkey, they don't have any utility other than those 2 decoys, right? So they're not going to be able to set a smoke grenade to go for that Xbox cat push. They're not going to be able to flash themselves around these corners or even go for any sort of a cross, mid to B, anything like this. If they do go for it, it's just going to be completely raw. But Keo, he's looking to get aggressive, and now he needs to reel backwards as Turkey do have the player advantage, but Mistu with a bit of support, he finds the headshot now towards the bottom of tunnels. It's Major to bring it back with 2 of his own. Excellent pistol plays once more from both sides, but it is going to be Turkey left with a man advantage, and not for long because Mistu chimes in with another. It's just Despe goes down too. Mistu going ham here as there's only 2 left standing, and he's looking for more, dueling again with the player on Cat. So Keo was the man to play, but now it's Mistu who's performing.
He's got another one out of it, and the ace! Mistu locking it down when the time calls for it, and he nails it. The 5-man mowdown down in middle, and beautiful shots from him. Those 1-taps, this was just a ridiculous shot. Boom!
Sit down, wow. Despe.
And then even the one that started off, and honestly, even the shot before that, the opening pick that he got where he bailed Keo out.
Yeah, exactly.
Keo was stuck up on catwalk, and because Mistu hits that shot on Xantares at the top side of mid, that allows Keo to actually fall back and work his way in towards the lower dark tunnels. Fortunately for himself, he ends up getting traded by Major and his teammate, but Mistu just holds the line. 5 frags, the ace in the pistol round. I believe it was all headshots, too.
Yes, it
Some
was.
Sexy stuff right there.
Fantastic. Now, this round, Turkey, they're going to be having that scout in hand in the hands of Major. They've got Kevlar across the board, so if they're able to find a frag here and pick up a weapon, then aim punch won't be a bit of an issue. But what will be a problem is their utility. Once again, it's only Paz with a flashbang, so a very stark lack of nades. Meanwhile, on the side of France, they've expended everything other than their flashbangs themselves. So once these smokes start to fade, it's going to be clean lines of sights for both sides. And remember, of course, it's a 2-point lead currently for Turkey, and France on the front foot looking to close that gap.
Yeah, but look at how many flashes they do have. They've got 7 to work with into this round. So if they do decide to push on forward, I mean, Paz, they're just letting Major try to make his way forward, try to see if he can get a line of sight on anybody, but they're playing this well, and Keo is just holding back here by Goose. If they push on up, he should be able to shred a couple of players with that MP9, but we'll see how this push comes out. There's the flash from CT. The counter flash comes back out. Calyx is going to take the duel. Despe, in the meantime, finds no neg. It's going to be Keo to try to hold the line. He switches over to the secondary, trying to get it done, but he's not going to be able to get out from behind there, and Despe is going to be able to isolate and take him down. And Despe, again, 3 kills on the round with the Desert Eagle, and it's coming down to this 2 versus 4 situation, and France now on the back foot. And this is a dire situation. He comes around and gets the 4th! Are we going to see back-to-back aces? Fuchs from long A trying to get it done. No kid on his back. He's going to make his way on up. And oh, Despe lays out the shot. It's finished off by Major. But what a round from Despe. Mistu, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I guess it comes down to Kiyoshima being in that goose position with only the MP9. You see him peek wide and struggle to kill that first player, and then off of that, it's just he switches to the secondary, right? With 3 players just gunning him down, it doesn't matter that they have a weapon disadvantage, because I don't know if necessarily he expected them to have so much armor. What a sick 1D right through the corner, but Major starts up yet again, grabs himself a scout headshot, down goes XMS. Already it's France with a man disadvantage, but Mistu looking to get aggressive here. Again, it's the scout buy, but this time to the side of France. Reeling backwards, of course, they're already at a disadvantage, not looking to give up the 3 versus 5 for free, but no Nick inside of mid will be presented some opportunities here. Of course, the odds are against him as Major with that scout looking to rattle some rounds down lane. Again, just both teams feeling one another out.
Yeah, and this scout versus scout battle at the top side of mid down towards the bottom side. Keo going toe-to-toe with Major right now, but Keo's losing the fight. He's not out of the war just yet, but he's losing the battle. Let's see if he can go back, and he's actually going to fall all the way back over towards the B bomb site and get himself a little bit of a position over here just in case they were starting to push. They actually had nobody in B. They're going for Deagle on Cat. Mistu, that flash is on point. He's just going to spam the Deagle and fall back, rightfully so. Xanteris was on the other side of that one, but gets himself out of dodge for the time being. 2 players on slope from CT. This is a risky play from the CT side, but you got 2 targets to shoot at. Sometimes it's difficult to figure out which one you want to go for first, and might just be able to put that spanner in the works for the terrorist side. But again, a very slow round. Turkey doesn't want to give anything back after the trade around, so they want to put their best foot forward into this flashbang over the top. That completely blinds out that player in CT. That was Mistu. He's got to fall back, and now the 5-7 at range, that's not going to be effective. So Fuchs, he's not really going to be able to do too much from this angle.
Oh, but no Nick at least with 1. Fuchs chimes in with 1 as well, so not too great of a position, but still able to find the 1 and done. And there's double scouts now to the side of France. They can definitely start to pepper away and deal some damage to the side of Turkey. But Xanteris holding the barrels. He's going to be waiting for this cat push. Bomb going down. Now they do have presence out towards long, and remember the weapons advantage quite clearly to that of the rifles. Now, still, Despe, again, towards Pit. So he's all right, but Keo off the scout with 1. Despe chiming in. That's going to now cause last 2 players to both be coming from the same direction. There won't be a split here, and France going to be losing another as Paz drops the first. Despe clears the second. That's exactly how the round should have gone, but France have to be happy in this situation as they have dealt damage.
Yeah, and I actually like the fact that Despe came back up long A from Pit in that situation, because they knew that they had given up 2 scouts in that in the end of that round. Keo had 1, and then they also forfeited 1 later on. And he comes back up to close the gap between the players, because it was planted for long plat, but an AK duel versus a scout, all it takes is 1 shot to the face from that scout, and he goes down, and potentially they lose the round. But Xanteris is going to take an aggressive approach here at long A, finds the first one onto Fuchs. He's looking for 1 into Pit. That's going to be Keo down there in the corner, and he's going to find the 2-tap dirt nap, and there's 1 more around there. No Nick. He's going to get taken down by Calyx, and now that A bomb site has been severely compromised.
I mean, obviously with the rifle advantage, it's just France certainly on the back foot. Xanteris, he's going to add another one to his collection. He's up to 3 now at this point, but of course France investing incredibly little into this one. So really, it's a bullet they have to bite. It's going to be a 12-7 lead, most certainly at this point. It's going to be just really coming down to, is he able to find 1 frag? Can he steal 1 away? He shouldn't be allowed to, and he won't. It's going to be Paz with a follow-up headshot. So a clear round for Turkey. They just take themselves out long A, clear things out, straight to the site. Very easy.
And look at this performance between Despe and Xanteris right now. 28-11, 27-9. You've got Keo at 20-16, but look at the rest of the players in the server. They just had Major hit double digits. That's a testament to how much these 2 players have stepped up for their team going forward. They've got over 50 kills combined, just willing their team to the grand finals.
That's nuts. But now this time it's going to be Turkey applying some pressure into the top of tunnels, looking to employ some incendiaries and utility towards that B site. Meanwhile, Xanteris, he's already coming out mid, and he doesn't reveal his position with a smoke or flash, anything like that. First he grabs info, now he'll smoke it off because they are going to be trying to transition potentially to the mid to B. But the problem here is that the bomb is still all the way towards long, next to Despe. Eventually, before they commit to something, they'll have to bring that, but it's Kiyoshima playing the edge of the smoke. Man advantage to the favor of France, and again, they fall back. Still utility, decent on the side of the Frenchman. Same can be said for Turkey. A very close round.
Yeah, very, very close round indeed. Xanteris getting called out, though. That's one of the big heavy hitters for the Turkish side. I mean, we talked about how he needed to step up after that lackluster nuke performance, and he's definitely done that here on Dust 2 alongside Despe. For now, we're going to see a little bit of spam through the smoke, but it looks like they're going to gear up for this catwalk take. And I think the CT side is reading this correctly. Keo's coming up to try to support. He's going to be able to find one more kill before going down. Despe does get the trade, but they've still got No Nick over here, and Counterflash comes out. They are going to be blinded up. It's a 3 versus 4 situation now as they make their way up towards this A bomb site. And No Nick over here by Slope is going to be chiming in, trying to get that damage out. And Paz still left alive. Finally goes down. The USP coming out, trying to pistol whip Despe, but it's Calyx and Despe to find the kills, and it's down to a 2 versus 2, made a 2 versus 1 as Mistu comes around, and it's all on Despe, who finds one more. Can he get the last kill? He's looking down. He's like a tick in the sight.
The amount of health there in that situation. I mean, Mistu prevails at the very last moment, but just a lot of missed shots in there. It's obviously hectic in that 2 versus 1. He whips around and does catch the player out towards long first, but Mistu able to capitalize. And I mean, that's another one of these rounds that very well could have gone either direction. So Turkey very well could have found themselves even closer towards victory, but instead France, they give themselves a bit of a chance. But the issue, of course, is that they lose 4 players in the process, and with that being bottoming out their economy, it's going to be tough for them to bounce back if they have to bite another loss. Meanwhile, Turkey, they're perfectly fine with this situation. Eventually they're bound to lose one, and they bounce back in a superb position. Now the op shot down through mid doesn't connect, and you can see, of course, XMS, he's going to be playing on the 5-7, so that's obviously the shining through of that broken cash flow. But now already a fast cap play. It's going to look like Turkey are looking to exploit this once more. 2 players on the cross looking to hold the line, and that's going to be the first engagement going to the favor of No Nick, but it's quickly traded. Turkey, again, doing a very good job of at least equalizing out these frags. But now it's Keo with another, and a 4 versus 2. Make it 1. Keo chimes in. Despe with the op. He has gone big, and he will once more as Fuchs is taken down. Keo trying to close the distance and buying time for his team to rotate. They're coming in from Cat. Now he connects that shot, and had it been a lethal shot as opposed to just 85 points of damage, then that would have been a very realistic 1 versus 2.
Keo's hitting at 25 frags now. I mean, he's the sole reason that his team is even in this matchup right now, given the frag race that's going on between Xantares and Despe. But again, they bring it back once more. This is going to be a smattering. It's a bargain buy from the Turkish side. They've got 2 AKs and a handful of pistols to work with. Nice counterflash comes out. Despe hits the dirt. Xantares is going to be in the back lines there behind that Molotov. Can't really do too much, but he does manage to find the frag onto Fuchs. Try saying that 10 times fast, and we will be seeing them push out towards that blue bin outside of long A. No Nick is around the corner. There's a teammate in tow. He actually spots the arm of Calyx, so yeah, trying to do a little bit of damage here.
Turkey having a bit of struggle getting themselves out from these doors. They're actually going to reel backwards, so any bit of footing that they did gain has now been lost. At least in that engagement, it's 1 player down for each side and a significant amount of damage as well. Xantares sitting on 4, Keo sitting on 8. So 2 of those crucial players now incredibly tagged. If both teams were to lose those players, then we're looking at the members of these teams who, again, haven't necessarily been putting up numbers, particularly on this map currently. Yeah. But Xantares is going to be setting that mid to B smoke, so this should be able to keep that player for France over towards B. And if XMS doesn't rotate while they execute out towards Catwalk, then of course we could be very well seeing France in a 2 players on the site situation. But they can always rotate back. There's still time. 45 seconds. Keo, he's going to hit the headshot. He's looking to grab a second. He does exactly that. And now a chime in from Mistu as well. Paz is able to return the favor, but it's down to just Xantares. And again, we mentioned 4 points of health. What is he really expected to be able to accomplish from this sort of a situation?
Well, best case scenario is a bomb plant. Or, you know, best case scenario is that he wins the round, but, you know, a bomb plant being a little bit of a silver lining into the round, and he is going to get it down, so that's going to give them a little bit more money going forward, especially since France has won the last couple of rounds, which is going to put that money bonus favorably towards Turkey. And that's a nice shot, going to be able to find 1. He's over by Goose. He could potentially find a second, but it's not going to be the case. No Nick does deny. And France is going to pick up their 10th round, so we've got both teams in double digits, 2 rounds separating us. The first 2 maps went 16-14 to each team respectively. And this is just a testament to how much these teams evenly match up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been the storyline this entire series long, and it's just going to be replicated once more here on Dust 2. Again, at this point, it's what I expect, nothing less. And Keo with some great shots over here from ramp, just using that little bit of a box ledge boost to get himself on and over. Still have the cover of the barrels, but Turkey quite clearly having to deal with some broken cash flow themselves. It's Tech 9, some bits of armor, lots of nades if they do want to set up for a smoke, even can go for the fake smoke if need be. Misto looking to take an initiative towards the bottom of mid, but he misses the shot, reels backwards. It's perfectly fine. They're still sitting in a very advantageous 5 versus 5.
Yeah, but it looks like they're going to go for a fast split towards the B bomb site. You can see the smoke is already out. The flashbangs are up and around the corner, and they're going to go ahead and bombard this area. And there's an AWP on this site, so this is really risky. XMS is actually going to switch over to the secondary, and that's actually going to be XMS that's got to go huge here. I meant Mistu earlier, but the trade's going evenly back and forth, and Paz has picked up an op. Xanteris has an AK to work with, and this is a scary situation now for France. You've still got Keo on the board, you've got 3 kits up, and it's going to be 3 M4s for the retake, but that's a nice shot from Paz. One more over by the window to contest with. Actually, they're both there. Oh, the Molotov, though, it backs off the back of Keo. And that's going to burn more time. Now, granted, I said they do have kits on the remaining 2 players, but not a good look for that. Keo trying to make his way through the window. Will be able to find the shot, but it's Paz with the salvaged up and the 4K. And Turkey, they show up for another round, and they dismantle the economy for France.
Throughout this entire series, that's now about 4 or 5 force buys that Turkey have been able to win. So if France do end up losing this map, and particularly this series, then that's one thing that they actually did struggle with, because it was the deciding factor in the overpass game, and now potentially at this side of a scoreline, for them to win off the back of Tech 9s is just unreal. France going to be coming into it quite clearly with just some P250, so again, not only do they find that round that they shouldn't be winning, but they'll be given a conversion point because of it. This very well could be kind of, cementing it for Turkey, but still there is only 13 rounds for them, 10 for France, and slowly but surely they'll work their way from Catwalk. But again, they leave this bomb up towards the top of mid, so they take the presence, but not necessarily looking to execute as of yet.
Yeah, but Major's going to be able to find one. Keo down and out, so the pistol's not really prevailing here, and Xanteris is taking an aggressive stance. Paz as well, everybody getting in on the work. And that is going to be the 14th round now for Turkey. 2 rounds away from the series and a berth into the grand finals. 4 rounds being the difference between these 2 teams, and we're going to see potentially our last full buy down from France. Last big meaty buy from them. Let's see if they can lock it down, though. Kiyoshima, he's been playing the hero right now for the Frenchman. See if he can try to will his team forward once again.
28 frags for Keo. What more can he do?
Well, you could get 30 plus like Despe and Xanteris.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Major going to be putting down some lead here over towards B, not be able to connect anything as the Frenchmen just do hold those more passive angles. But again, Xanteris taking an initiative in towards mid, never using a smoke or a flash to give away his play, but instead taking the shots, and this time it does net him a frag, and it's not just anybody dead, it's Kiyoshima.
Yeah.
Without him at this point, can France even come back into this one? They've always struggled from these sorts of situations, not to mention, again, 5 versus 4. Still plenty of time as well. So Turkey not having to necessarily commit, but if they'd like to, they certainly can. France rotating players over towards mid. They think maybe this is going to be a mid to B play. Is that?
I think they're just gearing up for a retake on A at this point.
Fair.
Then Molotov actually flushed out the player that was on CT slope down into CT spawn, and he joins up in mid double doors with his teammate. So XMS is going to be over there. You've also got No Nick down by the double doors in mid. And yeah, this is just going to be a retake strategy here on mid. And Mistu coming around from the lower dark is going to be able to find Major. So that's a really nice find, because now they've got the presence at long A, they've got the presence in mid. But unfortunately, Calyx has got different ideas. He's able to find 2, looking for a third, runs out of bullets, finally goes down. And Fuchs, No Nick all chiming in right now. They've got one more to beat, that's Paz. And that's the save map match and series point right here, right now. France trying to get their 11th on the board, and No Nick just creeping.
I mean, at this point, Paz looking to have to whip around. He does take the player from Fuchs, but No Nick able to survive for long enough to trade it. Excellently played by France, not only winning the round from the player disadvantage, but also without Kiyoshima still being into this one. So they are capable. This is what we'd expect from them. They're not no-namers. These guys can play, and at least that is some evidence of it. But well played in the sense that they set that crossfire, and there's just very slight chances that the player is able to whip around. But Calyx being over towards long, it's nice that he never actually commits to that long A push, because he doesn't clear out Fuchs. So while Calyx goes to the top of mid to take down all of these players, it's Fuchs' kill over here towards long that's only made possible because Calyx falls back. So it's kind of interesting that Calyx gets 2 kills, but because it's not Fuchs, he then brings the round back.
Yeah. And one of the other big things about that as well is even with them playing from the back foot, I mean, they're down, they're not out. They lose 4 players out of that, but it doesn't even matter at this point. It doesn't matter how many rifles you're dropping into some of these rounds. You just need to get the wins. And that's a nice shot from Mistu. Takes down Xanteris. Half-blind flick shot with the AWP. And that's going to net France the first kill of the round. And again, they're going to play from an advantage this time around. They were playing from the back foot last time. It was a 2-on-4 retake. This time they're going to start to make it work earlier in their favor.
Yes, exactly. Fuchs, he's up by Catwalk. He has to be cautious because, of course, he can get picked out on his own. And Despe looking to rattle some shots out towards the A site. Mistu, he's looking to duel with this. So he's just holding an angle as opposed to trying to take the peek. But Despe gets the best of him. And now Calyx chimes in with another one. It's going to be France starting to fall. They've lost that advantage they had. And now they sit at 1 man down. Fuchs again over here towards Cat. Last round he was that changing factor, but Major comes in with 2 headshots. Fuchs is going to bring it back, but he too drops. It's Turkey securing overtime. in the third map of this best of 3.
France now has to save 4 match points, 4 series points, and they are going to have a miserable bye to do that. They did win the round before this, but because they lost 4 rifles out of it, and they had to go, and they won it, had to get 4 rebuys, and then lose all of the rifles into the last round. This is just going to be a very big struggle bye. You can see Fuchs picking up the scout. The rest of them are all on pistols. If they can make this work, I don't know, man. France on the back foot. They're reeling right now. This is such a difficult situation for them to be in. They've come so far. They've already played 60 rounds in the opening 2 maps. 86 rounds total.
That's huge.
86 rounds total in this series.
I mean, it's exactly what we wanted, a competition.
Absolutely.
You cannot deny that it's exactly that. But
heart and soul, man.
Yep, most certainly.
Xantaris trying to lay a little bit of spam out. Mistu on the other side of the double doors, but he doesn't manage to tag him down. And for now, they're going to slow play things out on the Turkish side. They've still got plenty of time to do it. 1:10 on the clock, and they're going to hit towards Catwalk again. This is where they've been favoring almost every single round on their T side. Maybe figuring that they found some sort of a weakness in the defense. You can already see, you know, you've got Nodek up there from Goose. You've got a player playing from the A slope. You've got a player playing from car position, watching towards long A. So a lot of CTs throwing bodies over here right now. And it's
the timing.
Trying to lurk it up. Mistu trying to make a play. Unfortunately, Calyx is going to be able to get him, but they're going to speed up behind this one. And there's the peek out from Goose, so now they know that player is over there. But the rotation is going back around towards B, and there's only one player here. It's XMS.
In France, they're rotating players over as well, but XMS, he just gave up his spot. He's going to be able to find himself to the back of Car, but Major leading the charge. He whips round, finds the kill after dropping 1. Keo chimes in with a deagle kill as well, so it is still a 3 versus 3. Most certainly possible. 25 seconds on the clock. Turkey looking to get this bomb down. Calyx caught with a nade in hand. Has to go for the reload as Keo continues to apply some pressure, but now they're just going to be giving up the site as this bomb does go down, and they don't have a choice in the matter. As the incendiary burns off the window, the smoke grenade on the door, it's just going to keep these players at bay for the time being. Again, an op in the hands of Despe. Calyx sitting underneath the window. They have that op inside of tunnels, so it's pulled away, and the bomb planted by its side. So Fuchs inside the window with a jumping scout headshot. Thought that was Patch, but no, apparently not. Despe finds the op shot. Calyx chimes in.
Oh my God.
Nonick takes 1. It is Despe to clutch. Turkey have found themselves into the grand finals of this tournament.
How appropriate that it comes down to a brawl at the end of that one. How close was that round? I mean, it comes down to the 1v1 in the end. It gets shot in the back, and Turkey are going to prevail. But that's the MO of this entire series, is it's just been back and forth and back and forth. Close round after close round, 1 versus 1s, 2 versus 2s, 2v4s that should have no business being won by either side. And that's just the nature of the beast. What a hell of a series between both of these teams. France can go home from this event with their heads held high. They played to the best of their abilities, and they took Turkey to the brink.
Exactly. No matter what, they gave us a show, and that's all we really wanted.
Absolutely. There's a look at the Turkish team after their victory. They're going to go over and shake hands with the Frenchmen, and we are going to be sending things down to our analyst desk. Tom and the boys are standing by to try and break this one down, and I believe we'll probably have a post-game interview from George on stage. So why don't you go ahead and take it away, Mr. Tom.